NTA, Channel 12, Uyo. Your dependable station.
Safety and security watch this morning on my immediate right here. She is Ambassador Christina Michael Effiong. She is the Deputy State Coordinator of National Association of Uniform Voluntary Organization, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, and she is also the State Commandant, Child Protection Officers, Akwa Ibom State Chapter. Quite a commendable feat for a woman. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. On my far right, that's sitting next to her, is Ambassador Inemesiri Mebasi, the State Secretary General, National Association of Uniform Voluntary Organizations, Akwa Ibom State Chapter. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. You will, of course, you will agree with me that we have a full house here, vested with professionals and experience. Okay, so let's get to the focus today, which is the role of non-uniform voluntary organizations in maintaining peace and order, if you wish, in protecting lives and property. So let's begin with you, the Deputy State Coordinator. What are the key roles of the non-uniform voluntary organizations? What are the key roles?
Okay, good morning, everyone. The key roles of non-uniform voluntary organization is the core mandate that has to do with, number one, contribution to the state development regarding the security. Also, regulatory roles of NAVO, Akwa Ibom State Command, and we also create jobs and empower the youth in Akwa Ibom State. Also support a statutory security agencies. Those are the key roles that we have. Then we also protect the properties and lives. Thank you very much.
Okay, quite awesome there. Like I said at the beginning of the program, it takes love, passion, commitment, and resilience to do all of that that you are talking about. And of course, we know many more because going down your website days earlier, I discovered the many units that are connected to the duties that you are doing, which we'll look after thereafter. Okay, now let's get to you, the State Secretary General. Can you also give us an insight as to what your duty is?
Okay. Thank you so very much. Before we look at the duties of voluntary uniform organizations, we must first of all look at what is voluntary organization.
Okay.
Voluntary organization has to do with the composition of youth on uniform, be they guards or anyone who has the volunteering heart to protect and safeguarding our nations and also the properties owned by government, private individuals, or anyone. Now, the core rules of voluntary organization include intelligence gathering. That's very paramount. Every community, be it banks, hotels, government offices, have what is called private guards, or guards in quotes. Now, these are the guards that stands 24 hours. They are the forefront of checking who passes, who is that, be it in the community level. They know who is who in the community. So the voluntary uniform organizations perform one of these acts, and also they help in protecting lives and property. We play a complementary role to the sister agencies like the police and every other. The information received from us is what we give out to the police and other organizations as a supportive presence, because the police will not be able to all the words in our communities. But we have a presence in all the wards. Let me take, for instance, Akwa Ibom State, which has 31 local government. And we have the presence of voluntary organization in all of these 31 local government, including the villages, which has to do with the wards. So once intelligence are gathered from the communities, sent down to the local government coordinators, they will now pass the information down to the state, where we now disseminate into respective quarters.
Okay, so in this case, what's your relationship with other security agencies? That is like the police, the military, and civil defense, for instance. What's your relationship like?
Our relationship with, let me take, for instance, civil defense.
Okay.
Before National Association of Uniform Voluntary Organization came to be in Akwa Ibom State, our first point of affiliate was Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Because I know so very well that we are going to play a complementary role. Before any security agency or outfit come to stay, you must be cleared with the NSCDC.
Okay.
So we have that cordial relationship with them, together with the Nigeria police, because we do not arrest. We are only at the forefront of giving out information, safeguarding laws, safeguarding properties, and maintaining laws. We are there. For instance, the Boy Scouts are there. Peace Corps are there. Royal Rangers are there. Man O' War are there. You can't enter into the NYC orientation camp without seeing, the first person you see will be a Man O' War officer. They are the ones to guide you through the platoon and all of those drills. So that plays a complementary role in safeguarding the properties and also instilling discipline on our Nigerians.
Fantastic. Okay, Madam, let's look at the issue of human rights, which I know is one of the responsibilities of your organization, the issue of human rights. Let's say, for instance, you have a report of child molestation or kidnapping, and then you don't have the power to prosecute, but there's an agency or agencies that are vested with that power. Now, what's the first line of action you take? And of course, how do you follow up to ensure that the process is properly achieved?
Okay, first and foremost, when any case of molestation, abuses, or brutalization, or maybe raping cases comes up to us, the first thing we do is to channel the information to all our collaborators, which are number one, NAPTIP, and then the Women Development, Commission, and we all channel it to female lawyers, even the police. We are all collaborating, like networking. When you send out the signal to them, the next thing is for us to call for arrest, which they will do the proper arrest and then make sure that the culprit itself is being persecuted for the justice of the person that was being abused. That is how we go about it.
Okay, please let me still stay with you. In doing all of this, you have a lot of resources put in it, because you get the phone call, definitely. You need to move, and of course you need to make contact. How do you finance all of this? Or how do you have an external finance, or is the government are you given stipends to get all of this done?
Not at all. It's voluntary. We don't, and that is the more essence that we need government to come in to help us see how we can have access to maybe buses, like information, and see how they can help us to do this work accordingly. Because sometimes when incident like that occur, They normally called me, and when they call me, I always have challenge on how to go out. Sometimes maybe in the midnight, sometimes even if you make call across to those people that are matters or collaborating with you, you need a proper investigation, and that has to do, everything boiled down to the mobilization, which is the paramount. So in that situation, we normally see, and in fact we fight on how to make sure that that particular information does not miss us. So we need mobilization. It's one of our problems.
Okay, the State Secretary General, we are aware that in the northern part of the country that the non-uniform voluntary organizations have been co-opted into the running of the states. What that entails is that periodically they are sent to seminars, refresher courses, workshops, and then they are really funded. It's not what is just written in pages of newspapers. They are really funded, and seen. In fact, evidently, sometime around 2016 or thereabouts, you had them converge in Abuja, and you had a particular northern state actually sponsored that seminar. But can't we have that kind of gesture extended to your organization in Akwa Ibom State?
Okay. Thank you so very much. You know, they say that security is everyone's business.
Indeed.
And I must give kudos to what the Commissioner for Youth Development in Akwa Ibom State is doing.
Okay.
Now, when the Ministry of Youth Development was created, a department that has to do with uniform voluntary organization also exists in that ministry. So that's where we come in also. By this, before I go into that, the ongoing now, we have Akwa Ibom State Voluntary Uniform Organization Sports Tournament that is ongoing.
Okay. So who's sponsoring that?
It's in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth Development and the Ministry of Sports in Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
So, as we progress, since this is not a political organization,
Okay.
we are non-partisan. So it's solely voluntary. And you know, anything that has to do with voluntary... So,
Yeah, I understand.
but we look forward to having that come up, because if there is an active promotion of volunteerism, it will encourage others. Kudos to what the Kaduna State government did. Now, if you really want to look back at what they did, they provided the organization with operational vehicles.
Of course.
Just like my colleague rightly said, the cases of child molestation. You can't go around Akwa Ibom on tricycle, because there are some routes.
You are not even the owner in the first place.
Yeah.
You pay. You actually
So
pay.
it's cost effective. I remember at the cost of going around this submission of letters and every other thing, I was, should I say, molested, harassed by other sister agencies. I drive a minibus, and there are some routes in Akwa Ibom in which you can't enter with your minibus. So that poses a great challenge.
And at that time, it was only the available means you could afford
Yes,
to deal with it.
Yes.
And the vehicle was impounded.
I mean, even after identifying
After
yourself.
identifying
Even after
myself, and the first question was, voluntary organization, who does that have? We don't know you. So these are the things, these are the most challenges that volunteers face. Neglect in the part of citizens, which means if a voluntary uniform, for instance, if a guard, the last person I respect most if I'm entering any office is from the gate, because that man you meet at the gate can make you or mar you. So I think everybody that has to do with that plays the role of security very important, because when we advocate for strong collaboration, we are then to achieve everything peace and harmony in our state and Nigeria at large.
Okay, yeah, there's something you've not really looked at, and this is the issue of that mobility that we talked about. Akwa Ibom is actually vast. Okay, Madam, let's get to you now. Akwa Ibom is actually vast, and you've talked about an instance where you had to respond to a case of child molestation in the middle of the night, and here you are. You are not mobile. The organization is not mobile. Don't you think that you may use this opportunity to, the government can do everything, but at least the first port of call could be on them, and then you have good-spirited individuals that can actually afford to come in, recognize what you're doing, and then maintain a level playing ground. Because he has said something that at the moment your organization is on a week-long sports tournament at the stadium. There, granted, that is good, but when we leave the stadium, that's for physical and mental agility, okay, alertness. So why can't we come back to the classroom for a workshop for this knowledge of credible intelligence? And at that point, all of these things could be put together. Yeah.
Okay.
So you may wish to respond, sir.
Okay, let me respond. If government, captains of industries, and well-spirited Nigerians, NGOs, and everyone involved who loves and who takes security very important. Personally, I would advocate for government to train us in intelligence gathering, which is very key mandate. There's how our officers on field would want to, who sees something, they will want to say something, but they are afraid, if I say this thing now,
what becomes
of me after now? So they would tend to halt the information, or they will have a reminder after everything. They will still tell, this was the person that gave out this information. So it tends to bring a bridge. So we solicit for government to train us on intelligence gathering and prompt response. Looking at the...
Don't you need stipends as well?
That's what I'm coming at. Looking at this, that it is volunteerism. We, some times ago, used to, most states in Nigeria used to receive subventions.
Yes, they do.
But it's not forthcoming.
Yes, some northern states actually do.
So that boosts the day-to-day running of these voluntary organizations. I know the state governor, His Excellency Governor Umar Basseno, PhD, is a security-conscious governor.
Yes, indeed.
And if not for anything, I've seen what he has done and what he's doing and what he will keep doing in Akwa Ibom State in the protections of life and property. And we use this medium to please appeal for, if not 2, 3, 4, 5, but just one operational vehicle to help us secure our internal security. We complement the works and the activities of the Neighborhood Watch. That's the Ministry of Internal Security in Akwa Ibom State. Okay. They are doing a great work. But without the volunteerism partnering with this ministry, I don't think that most information they will have, like the case of child molestation, kidnapping, and the rest of them. We are there at the community level, at the world level. We have this information with us, and we give it out to the government agencies to act upon. So please.
Okay, now, I know. Okay, but I don't see this to be a wrong time to actually ask. You may wish to ask that. I mean, we are all Christians in the true sense of it in Akwa Ibom State. Yeah. And there's an aspect of the scripture that says, ask and it shall be given. So you may wish to ask.
Okay, on behalf of, we have the manpower of over 5,000 or 500,000.
Yes, in the state.
Volunteers in Akwa Ibom State, as we speak.
Yes,
correctly. And if this manpower are co-opted into the state internal security, thank God for what is about to happen in our nation. That is a state policing. This will go a long way to protecting our properties, most especially government-owned properties. I went through a street here in Uyo and I saw a primary school that was well rehabilitated and furnished by the Akwa Ibom state government. So as at today, as at this morning, the roof, windows, all of those infrastructures gone. Now, if we had the presence of volunteer corps or guards who were there to man those things, I'm not sure that those things would have. And this happens, vandalization goes deep down.
Deep down.
Yeah, I think I have an idea of what you're talking about, because that particular school is in the heart of Uyo.
Yes.
And then you have, it's located where you have random traffic. And it's not very good to the image of the state, actually.
Yes.
We're not going to call names here, but the truth is that if what you're suggesting from your standpoint as a professional is taken care of properly, I think many of those things would never exist again. Granted that we shout, we advocate for infrastructure and everything, and when government come in to do these things, then we see that in no time they are left in a state of disarray. So if what you're suggesting now could be taken care of, it means that at least we are a step higher than the perpetrators of this heinous crime.
And to add to that, schools will be reopening by September.
So what becomes of the those students that should actually learn there?
And I would also use this opportunity to request on the Honorable Commissioner for Education in Akwa Ibom State.
Should also look
towards our end by recruiting or affiliating with us. We have the manpower that can service all of the schools we have in Akwa Ibom State.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like the case of Oyo State children's kidnapping, far be that it should happen in Akwa Ibom.
Of course, Akwa Ibom is properly protected.
We are protected because
by God's grace,
of the maritime. We are bounded by waters.
So. Okay, man, you're putting short, please, man.
Okay. What I want to say is that regarding my own organization, based on the high level of molestation, the abuses among our children, I will plead for the indulgence of our dear state governor, Basi Omoeno, PhD, to please look into the cases of abuse among our children, and also plead to the parents of our dear children to please have excessive attention, communication, listening ears to our children, because the rate our children are being molested, abused, brutalized is becoming very alarming. And because we as CPO, child protection officers, what we are up to, and the main motto of us is the best interest of our children is our priority. So please, let's do everything possible to make sure our children are safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A good place to leave it. We know that this conversation has just begun, as a matter of fact, because so many things you have to tell us, especially in your core area, which is child protection. Yes, we are all parents, and in such situations, we are all stakeholders. Okay, now we will leave it there for now, and then next week, who knows, you may be back here to say a lot of things that the organization is doing. Thank you very much for being part of the program, for all of us here in the studio. For those who found time to be part of the program, we know that you learned a great deal. I was discussing with officers of the non-uniform voluntary organization in the state. First was Ambassador Christiana Michael Effiong. She's the Deputy Coordinator, National Association of Uniform Voluntary Organization, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, and she also doubles as the State Commandant, Child Protection Officers, Akwa Ibom State. And also we talked to Ambassador Imebasi, the State Secretary General, National Association of Uniform Voluntary Organizations in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you very much. We hope we learned a lot because I also did. Next week the program returns. Bye-bye. See you then.